we're seeing The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I thought the opening 10 minutes were really incredible. Some of my favorite Spider-Man things ever done. Electro was a very good villain, I thought.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm David.
And we're at our new offices at Fandango. Very happy to be here. And we are here to give our first review in the new office of The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Starring Andrew Garfield, who is quite a hipster, awesome Spider-Man.
Yes, and Emma Stone, who is the most divine Gwen Stacy I can possibly imagine. At one point, just to start off with those guys, at one point in the middle of the movie, I said to my friend, they're going to set fires with all these sparks. The chemistry is off the charts.
It's electric,
yes.
like electro.
Whoa. It's a punny day, everybody. Okay, so just initial thoughts. There will be spoilers, and when we give, major spoilers, we'll give you a heads up. But, initial thoughts, I loved it.
I enjoyed it. I do not agree with all the mixed reviews. I think it's a good Spider-Man movie. Very confusing choices, though. It is a bit redundant to see Harry Osborn turn into Green Goblin again.
It is. Again, this movie is fighting against the fact that it's a reboot of a franchise that existed recently, because I think that this is a really, really very strong comic book movie from an objective standpoint, but it's also fighting against this fact that there was a franchise already. If the Sam Raimi's movies didn't exist, I feel like people would be like, this is great.
Yeah, it's not like Spider-Man 3 where you had Venom, Gwen Stacy, and Mary Jane, and then 18 other characters, and they're all just messing with each other. I think the balance shows really well in this. I think, because you only really have Electro and Green Goblin, who team up quite well.
Yeah.
And the Rhino's only in this movie for 4 minutes.
This movie is really fun. It's bright, it's colorful.
It reminded me completely of the Fox animated Saturday morning cartoon show. The way that it's very, very... you can even tell there's so many, kids that Spider-Man's talking to, literally in the movie, that this is geared towards kids.
Yeah, and they really play into this idea of, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, the amount of citizens of New York that he interacts with, and, like you said, the kids. And you also really feel the presence of New York in this movie. They shot the entire thing there. And the last one, they shot a lot of it in Los Angeles. This one, you can really feel it. I thought Jamie Foxx's Electro is really good. They went a kind of silly route with it, which at first I was like, ugh, but then totally worked for me.
Yeah, Paul Giamatti as the Rhino, they could have had anyone. I'm kind of confused why they chose Paul Giamatti.
It seemed like he was like, yeah, I'll come out for 2 days and have fun.
I think so. And I like the mechanized suit, and I love how everything revolves around Oscorp. Nothing is random in this. It's all focused about, there's this one company that experiments with animal genetics, and that's why all this stuff is happening.
Yeah.
And to me, anything that's focused with logic like that just seems so much better.
Yeah, and a lot of the reviews I've been reading have been complaining that it's convoluted and things. I didn't think it was convoluted at all. I will say, Spider-Man holds a very special place in my heart, so I may be coming from it with that lens. But this is a really, really fun movie. Spoiler alert!
Big spoiler alert.
Huge spoiler alert. Until probably the last 15 minutes.
When Gwen Stacy dies, exactly the same way in the comics. I mean, there's no bridge, but Spider-Man shoots the web, catches her.
It stays with us.
Briefly on Gwen Stacy, I really do like the way, compared to Mary Jane, was always this, in the Tobey Maguire movies, this sort of damsel in distress. She's kind of dumb. She's an actress. She's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And she's always getting, in trouble. Someone has to save her. Gwen Stacy is exactly the opposite. She's a science whiz. She's going to go to Oxford University. And she's super smart. And, she's the brains, really. She's smarter than Peter Parker. And I think that's awesome.
And just from a character standpoint, the way that they build her as being, Peter's rock is really, really effective. And like I said, their chemistry together, when she dies, you feel it, and Andrew Garfield plays it beautifully. But he loses his center because she is the person who kind of keeps him going.
Yeah, for me, the death, I feel like so much more should have happened afterwards. And I actually read on IMDb there was an entire fight scene filmed immediately after that death, which I feel like kind of needed to be there maybe. But I guess they cut it.
Between him and Green Goblin?
Between Peter Parker and Harry Osborn. Because I felt like she dies and then we move on, and then the movie ends very quickly after that. I kind of want more, which I'm sure is going to be the third movie. Yeah. But I was confused as far as also, this is aimed at kids. The director showed a very, strong death. Even I was moved, and I'm not 9 years old, so
Yeah. So overall, I really, really liked it, David. I
Yes.
was very satisfied as a Spider-Man fan.
I was about 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm going 8.5. Now,
Okay.
I gave the last one 9. That was right after I saw it. I'd put that probably at around a 7 now. So I've had some time to process this. I'm going 8.5. But let us know what you think. Comment below. Let us know what you think of The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
And make sure you buy tickets from Fandango. Click right here.
Until next time, I'm Ryan.
And I'm David.
Thanks for watching.